Now, the circumference of a circle is the distance all the way around. With most shapes, we call that the perimeter, but with a circle, we call it a circumference. Sometimes they will give us an angle within a circle, and perhaps either the distance of the distance that angle marks out of the circumference. Basically, we've got 4 numbers here. The ratio of the circumference the distance around the circle to 360 degrees. If you start here and you go all the way around, then you've gone 360 degrees, right? So the ratio of the distance you have to travel around to 360 degrees is always going to be the same as the ratio of x, that portion of the circumference that is marked out by the angle, to the number of degrees in the angle. For instance, let's say we have a circle whose circumference is, I don't know, 12 feet. And they're asking how many feet would be marked out by an angle of, let's say, 60 degrees. Now, in a case where the number of degrees creates a really nice fraction with 360, you also might want to set it up as either A is to 360 as X is to, I'm going to call the circumference C. Or we could set it up as I did here, that the ratio of C to 360 is going to be the same as the ratio of A to the number of degrees in the angle. It doesn't matter how you set it up as long as A and X go together and the circumference and the 360 go together. We can either put A to X and 360 to C like this, or we could say the circumference and the 360 are the same as the ratio of A to X. It may look a little different, but when you cross multiply, recall that if we've got 2 fractions that are equal, that the cross products of a numerator from one fraction and the denominator from the other fraction are going to be the same. So if A over B, which just represents any fraction, is equal to a second fraction, C over D, then A times D is going to equal B times C. And if you look at these two fractions, this cross product is going to give us A times C equals 360 times X. This one is going to give us A times C equals 360 times X. So either one works fine. So for this particular problem, let me erase this to make a little bit more room here. We can set it up to say that if the circumference all the way around is 12 feet, and we're talking about a 60-degree angle, then we can say that 12 feet goes with 360 degrees is going to be the same as X feet, feet to feet, and degrees to degrees, X is to 60. The cross product here is going to give us 12 times 60 equals 360 times X. Divide both sides by 360. Will give us X. And this is going to come out to, I could reduce first. X is 2, so 2 feet. Now in this case, notice that 60 degrees is exactly 1/6 of the entire circle, and that 2 feet is exactly 1/6 of 12 feet.